Alrighty, welcome back everyone. It is LaughNgamez here. I'm back with another Starcraft 2 1 versus 1 bot AI cast. We have got ourselves what should be a good one here today, as it's going to be none other than BenBotBC, the BC standing for Battle Cruiser, taking on DominionDog, DD. And yeah, these two bots are both incredibly fun to watch. They've got some very cool design, so we're going to watch them battle it out on Golden Aura. And yeah, we've got already a bit of a cheeky cheese going down for BenBot, saying in chat, Bunker Rush. So going to be doing its little commitment contain plan, and we'll see how well that's going to work out against DominionDog for this one, as that Rax is mighty close to the base of DominionDog. I don't think we see proxies that close to your opponent's base these days, but apparently in bot matches we still do. That SCV is just gonna miss that. Man, BenBot really gambling with that one, but it is gonna work out, which is good, because it seems that in quite a few of these games, these bots are pretty darn good at scouting, so that's a good start for BenBot. We'll see whether it actually gets much damage done or not. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, before we get too far into this one, as it's already underway with that first Marine being built, make sure to go ahead and click that like button. We're getting dangerously close to December here as I cast this. And yeah, so if we can get, I don't know, 25 likes for the 25 days of Christmas, we've got that first Marine popping out. It finds a command center to start shooting. It's not shooting the SCV though. We'll see if it retargets when the SCV paths to the other side of that. Now it sees the SCV. We have got DominionDog showing us in chat how it's reacting to this, which I'm a big fan of, as saying proxy barracks, Terran, early defend marauders. So maybe it's reading this as a marauder rush, or maybe that's just the plan for what DominionDog's going to go into. We do have that Reaper engaging one of the Marines. Unfortunately, it doesn't quite kill that SCV, so this command center is going to be toast. A really great opening for BenBot for starters. That bunker is not going to be easy to dislodge either, and that is a successful rush from BenBot. The strength of this rush really comes from denying the opponent's expansion, and it succeeded in doing that. And yeah, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to leave a comment down below saying more bots if you want to see more of these bot games, as I certainly enjoy casting them. I really do love this bunker rush from BenBot. Looks like that Reaper is skirmishing with that single Marine, however, but that Marine does perish. We do have BenBot now getting up its own command center. Of course, this was a commitment on the other side of the map, but it's able to macro up behind this. It's getting out a siege tank to defend on its side of the map. And yeah, DominionDog is just contained off one base. We'll see if DominionDog is going to go for an expansion on the high ground, or whether it is going to, or whether it's just going to be contained on one base, unable to expand. DominionDog does have a factory done, so it may be able to produce a siege tank to clean this out, and that may be the plan. Problem is, though, that BenBot has got its own tank about to pop out, and sometimes BenBot sends these units across the map. So we'll see if that tank is just going to go make this the ultimate containment or not, and I think that that may be the case. This one Reaper is doing its job, just constantly making sure that that bunker is still there. However, yeah, DominionDog is really contained on one base here. We have got no extra command centers starting. DominionDog is a bot that likes to build its command centers on location, and it can't presently do that. At least it's realizing that. It's not trying to start that up or anything, which is important, because we do have lots of bots that do sort of just sacrifice SCVs non-stop trying to really get that command center up. Unfortunately for DominionDog, the tank of BenBot did just roll on up. It's going to start shooting away on the Marines. We'll see if the bunker can at least fall. If the bunker gets killed, that may be enough for DominionDog to clean this out. But now the tank is under attack. 5 Marines for BenBot sail forth, and they are actually able to kill off the tank. That is a very nice pickoff. We do have a Liberator that just popped out for DominionDog that will hold this ramp, but man, oh man, BenBot is not just containing, it is trying to push up this ramp. That Liberator will be more than enough to defend against this, though. The problem is, though, things are not getting any better for DominionDog. Look at this, 1,300 minerals in the bank. It's really limited by gas. It's not building any command centers inside its main base. This strategy of BenBot really is working. The red Terran bot is just still hanging out here. It's rough times for DominionDog. It's now trying to move down and secure an expansion, maybe thinking that that bunker's gone. It's going to siege up its tank. However, that's in trouble. Liberator is going to set up for DominionDog, so it may actually be able to win that fight. Somehow it does. I believe a Marine was a hero and took a shot there. A Viking did pop out for DominionDog. So DominionDog finally breaks free of this. It's a Viking against Viking fight. It looks like that DominionDog's Viking would have lost that fight. However, they're both programmed to retreat at low HP, it seems. And so both those Vikings will head home and probably be repaired. DominionDog, all of a sudden, more money in its pocket than Bill Gates, is like, oh, I can build all these command centers now. So it immediately throws up a natural and a third. That's one of my favorite things about DominionDog. It really plays it greedy, and it isn't usually punished for it too hard. This is one of the games that it has been punished a little bit. Not necessarily like on the back of its early greed, but it was slowed down this match. We do have 2 Vikings out for DominionDog, which is important because BenBot behind this has been teching into battle cruisers, living up to its BC name. The first BC is on the way. It's got that battle cruiser about halfway done. So having the proper anti-air for DominionDog is going to be quite important. Now, the way battle cruisers work in these bot games is different though, because the BCs, bots, they don't really understand the snowball or domino effect. Because, for example, if you rush BCs as a human player on the ladder and you kill the few anti-air units your opponent has, you're going to go, oh, I can just keep pushing, I'll win the game. The bots don't really think like that. It's almost impossible to program that kind of logic into your bot to just go for that snowball effect. And so BenBot's probably going to go in with its BC, maybe get some damage done, but DominionDog will probably be fine in the short term. Now, as far as the long term goes, both bots do have third bases up. BenBot is leading on workers by a massive amount. It's 33 to 56. That's what happens when you're only on one command center for a long time. DominionDog is going to be trying to catch up, making 3 SCVs at a time. It's also floating lots of resources still, so it could potentially throw up even a 4th command center. We'll see if DominionDog is going to be that greedy or not, but it can now also start dropping mules too. BenBot does have an orbital command at its natural base. It is going to be turning its third base into a planetary, and this is one of the things that does hold BenBot back a little bit. It is a very safe bot, so it's not going to have those extra 250 minerals every, I don't know, what is it, 40 odd seconds that a mule brings in. So that's actually going to start pushing DominionDog a little bit ahead, or allowing it to catch up in the economy, depending how long this game goes on. However, DominionDog still making SCVs, hasn't even turned this third into an orbital yet. So, of course, it's not benefiting from that. Army supply-wise, it's 30 to 36, and neither side has a huge army. They're both just macroing up after that bit of a slow start for them both, as BenBot, of course, delayed itself with that cheese a little bit, and also tends to macro up a little bit safer and slower, as we see with these 2 bunkers, 2 widow mines, turrets all over the place, which I love, by the way. I think it's very, very smart programming by the bot authors. Cloak is on the way for DominionDog, as it seems to go into this mass Banshee Viking style. DominionDog has played this style in matches I've cast before, and it kind of just relies on having a really good economy, and DominionDog's economy isn't quite there yet. It's 3 bases to 4 bases right now, so DominionDog is going to need to take some really good trades with these Banshees and Vikings, and seeing as how they're Banshees and Vikings, I'm not sure that's going to happen. The blue Terran bot is being as aggressive as ever, though. It's going to be trying to push forward. Vikings, turrets getting tossed down. Yamato Cannon does delete one of those units there. This attack for DominionDog is a very risky move. It's actually trying to make it happen, though. Vikings do cut through the BC Banshees against the Marines. Somehow, this army is staying out of range of those turrets, of the bunkers, and actually gets a decent trade. However, gonna lose a siege tank on the way out, so DominionDog's attack didn't really amount to much, which we can kind of expect from BenBot. A bot that's got turrets and bunkers at its front door isn't going to be broken easily. Now, DominionDog does have that 4th command center on the way. This is where we'll see if DominionDog's going to really start snowballing its economy. It's still behind 20 SCVs. It's 86 for BenBot to 67. BenBot expands a little slower, but it has reached that really strong economy, and it is getting up a 5th base, which I'm a big fan of, as once BenBot gets up a 5th, it is a warrior, that's for sure. We've got a Widowmine going to hit a Banshee, immediately kills it. Those Banshees all of a sudden might not be feeling as confident. DominionDog is going to try and push on in, take a fight as Vikings engage Vikings in the skies, but I just don't think there's enough units here for the Blue Terran, so DominionDog is going to have to get on out of there. It's got that 4th command center on the way up, but still, it's throwing away a lot of resources, and I'm not sure it can afford that yet. It's not like it's on 8 bases or something. It's on barely 4, as it just gets that up. Banshees are getting some pickoffs, however, as far as the air battle goes, it didn't go the way of DominionDog. BenBot's kept 7 of its Vikings alive, probably in part because of the fact that it leads in the upgrades. This is DominionDog, though. It just attacks and attacks and attacks. We do have a 5th base now on the way for the Blue Terran bot. If it's going to compete with BenBot, it's going to need all the bases, pretty much. And we'll see if it actually is able to get up enough in a timely manner, because 11 minutes for 5 bases is definitely a slowed down DominionDog. Now, as far as the air count goes, definitely still a smaller number of Vikings. Banshees do come in. They are going to try and damage down that turret. They will actually kill the turret. It's very cool programming that the bot authors are like, yeah, when you have enough Banshees, just engage those turrets. That is going to leave the space undefended, but undefended only until the massive Viking army of BenBot, or Air Force, I guess, whatever you want to call it, all these Vikings, fleet, I don't know. As we do have DominionDog throwing down some auto turrets. I believe that was to chase that Hellion away. The Blue Terran bot has yet to secure up that 6 base, as BenBot does get up at 6. The first Thor is on the way for DominionDog. It did put in chat a little earlier, BenBot spammed it out, that it was going into late game Thor, which is very darn cool. Banshees coming on in, are killing off some SCVs of BenBot. Suddenly those 2 turrets, even with building armor and high-sec auto-tracking, are not cutting it. Marines are getting killed. We will have to see DominionDog retreat, though. As soon as these Vikings shows up, it's party over. Some SCVs will be killed on the way out, so BenBot's economy is being delayed. Looking at the overall army supply, though, I mean, BenBot is ahead. It's at 170 supply to 146. DominionDog does now have that 6 on the way, so it's going to be 6 to 6 bases. We'll see if either of these bots, which one of these bots takes the extra bases. DominionDog positions Raven down here, so it can actually secure this expansion towards the bottom left. So it's already sending an SCV out there to build that, I believe, either unless that's a BenBot SCV. But I get the feeling it's a DominionDog one. We shall see, though, as there's the potential for BenBot to expand towards the upper right. BenBot is also maxed out, so it's going to be looking to go for an engagement soon. Although DominionDog being DominionDog does bring the engagement to BenBot. These Banshees get lots of damage done before BenBot brings its army over to defend against this, losing a refinery. There is 1 Thor on the ground, which is going to have its work cut out against it. It cannot take on a tank, a planetary, and all those BCs, so it does just perish right away pretty much. A second Thor has been produced. Upgrades are still rolling for DominionDog, but it is behind in the upgrades, as BenBot just has got quite a bit of production, a massive Viking army. The Thors could definitely be a godsend for DominionDog if BenBot doesn't really make too many more BCs. As I say that, though, I look at the production tab and there's 3 more BCs on the way. So while the Thors will be good against the Vikings, there's not going to be enough Thors to deal with these battle cruisers. And then the Banshees are kind of just dead weight in the air fight. So it really is just going to be about whether these Banshees can get enough damage done to BenBot in order to really justify all these Banshees. But tons of them are dying. DominionDog is throwing away so many resources. We do have Marines on the ground, unupgraded Marines notably, trying to shoot down this command center. They run right into the battle cruisers and get ground down. DominionDog is securing this base in the bottom left. We saw BenBot saying CC, skip base, so DominionDog DominionDog prevented BenBot from securing that base. BenBot is sending some SCVs there, but then I think they were probably queued to go over there to repair, but then it's not there anymore. They're like, oh, sorry, a little bit late to the party there. as this command center gets the awkward repair walk that SCVs have to do while it's flying. It's like, can't you hold still for a second, man? No, the command center is on a mission, probably to the top right. We'll see if it beats DominionDog there or not, as BenBot does kind of just fly the bases around until they find a good spot to land. Both these bots are just about maxed out. Only one of these bots has got supply tied up in 9 Banshees, though. There's a lot of Marines out for DominionDog. They don't really have any upgrades, though, which could potentially come back to bite DominionDog, as DominionDog, I mean, it's got one Thor chasing the Vikings, but the other Thor just met its end in the form of double Yamato cannons. There's Banshees still flying around. The Marines on the ground for DominionDog really need some upgrades. BenBot's going to have 3 upgrades for its Marines. It's got Stim, it's got Combat Shield, and right now DominionDog just isn't pooling enough Thors. We do have the top right base being secured by DominionDog, the bottom left base being secured by DominionDog. It's got a much higher income than BenBot, as BenBot doesn't have any orbitals. Really, any extra orbitals. It's got the 2 orbitals, it's got the planetaries. This is something I talk about every late game I cast with BenBot, and it's why we're seeing DominionDog bring in so much money, be able to trade 12,000 resources less than its opponent, but then still be able to remax despite taking such terrible trades, and that's because BenBot has a relatively small economy. Now, BenBot means business this time, though, as it's coming in with all those Vikings. There's how many battle cruisers? 6 battle cruisers against 4 Thors. The Banshees are coming on in. They'll kill the few Marines on the ground. The Banshees are really just soaking damage at best. Vikings do come in for DominionDog to help out too, and BenBot kind of leaves its BCs to their own devices, so they just all teleport home upon taking damage. They don't die, they just teleport home, which is very important, keeping those alive. We do have the Vikings for BenBot being pushed back. DominionDog still didn't take a great trade there. It managed to stay alive and repel its opponent's army, but it still has got its work cut out for it. Those Thors are still grouping up, but yeah, DominionDog's supply, I think it could potentially be a little bit more efficient. We'll see as the upgrades finish up whether things improve for DominionDog, but for now, it did lose that base in the upper right, and that's going to potentially allow BenBot to secure that location up. We do have Vikings skirmishing in the skies once again. BenBot's got to be careful because a lot of its BCs are still coming back after being repaired. They're not present in that fight. Meanwhile, we got Thors on the ground engaging these battle cruisers. 1 Yamato cannon going to hit 1 Thor. They do not get one shot by Yamato cannon. One of the... there's a few units in the game that don't get one shot by Yamato cannon, but it still definitely hurts the Thors. 2 Yamato cannons kills a Thor. That Thor count is growing, though. The battle cruiser count is kind of being kept lower by the Viking presence of BenBot. The Marines on the ground not really eating up too much supply, but there we see it. Thor's doing okay against the BCs. 2 BCs have perished so far this game versus 6 Thors. BenBot takes damage on the Thors and retreats, but yeah, mass Thors would be or mass battle cruisers would be the way to go. But the composition, the Banshees are kind of telling BenBot to say, hey, make more Vikings. But in reality, it just needs more battle cruisers, I think, to counter these Thors. But then the problem is there is a lot of Vikings for DominionDog. DominionDog is pushing on in here. Looks like these Banshees are actually getting some work done at this 5th base. The turrets get targeted down because of that smart programming to do that. We've got a tank, though, going to kill off a Thor, which is big. The attack for DominionDog, I'm not sure it worked out too well there. A lot of Thors did perish for really not much of BenBot. DominionDog has reestablished this base in the upper right, though. It's got more money to play with. We've got a Banshee or a Raven of BenBot flying around. It's like, yeah, I got to secure this base. It's probably been dropping down auto turrets, killing SCVs. 2 Marines do come down for DominionDog, so it is reacting to this. Still no upgrades on those Marines, by the way. Looks like that Raven does perish. The turret gets killed. BenBot's going to fly this base up to the upper right. It is slow and methodical with its base taking, but this CC, it's going to say, nope, that base has been taken. Turn around. Flying CC reset 6. Which I assume is like a base idea or something. We do have 2 Thors getting caught out. One of them dies immediately to Yamato cannons. The other's going to do what it can. Thors do pretty well against BCs if there isn't... They do pretty well against BCs if there wasn't Yamato cannon in the game, but there's Yamato cannon, so that Thor perishes right away. We've got this CC flying around. it looks like DominionDog likes to hunt those down, and it does hunt them down. The problem is, that is really exposing the army of DominionDog on its way back home. Resources lost is 36,000 to 21,000. Both these bots have got banks. BenBot's got an impressive gas bank. Mineral-wise, not the case, though. Vikings are still skirmishing all over the place. BenBot likes to retreat as it pulls away from the Marines from the Thors, which does allow it to, or does make it eat some shots. We do have Yamato cannons going to get some pickoffs on these Vikings, though. I mean, Vikings can micro against BCs, but not against the Yamato cannon. That really is where battle cruisers get their efficiency. This base down here is being attacked by the Banshees. Once more, SCVs trying to be heroes, repair that. However, they will not repair the turrets. Suddenly, those 2 turrets with repair isn't enough to defend against Banshees. That's a very weird dynamic, but it's true. SCVs are dying at this base for BenBot. It's actually been mining out slower because SCVs keep dying at it. And speaking of mining out, I mean, this base, I guess, has been getting harassed, having SCVs pulled, so it's actually mining out slower. This location has been getting muled, so it's mining out faster for BenBot. And it's really important that BenBot holds on to this base, but it does look like this base may actually die. The one tank being so clutch, staying alive, shooting these Thors, it does perish. More SCVs are getting pulled to repair this base. This base can't die for BenBot. It needs to keep mining at this. Battle cruisers coming forward, Vikings coming forward to push away DominionDog, and BenBot narrowly holds onto this base. The Thor is going to die trying to kill that off. What a hold by BenBot. We'll see if it rebuilds those turrets fast enough. DominionDog does still have a whopping income for now till it mines out those exterior bases, so it is maxed out and it's coming on in again. BenBot just needs to hold the line. Getting more turrets set up at that base, getting a new tank there is very important. BenBot's spending its money replacing SCVs, though, that it's lost, which is something these bots fall into, which is kind of just an SCV death spiral. It loses SCVs, so it spends its money on SCVs, so it's not making units, or in this case, turrets, and that's problematic, as it really needs those. We do have DominionDog coming on in once again. So many Banshees. It's ridiculous. 20 Banshees against a primarily battle cruiser composition, but they're just getting damage done on the ground. And it goes to show there's more than one way to get damage done in StarCraft 2. Those Banshees are so injured. They're eating Widow Mines. So many of them are dying. This command center flying around is a hot target, apparently. It may be shot down. Vikings for BenBot are doing what they can. Supply is falling for the Red Terran bot. And man, oh man, I think DominionDog's mass economy strategy may have paid off for itself again, as BenBot loses a critical base. DominionDog has got the income to maintain these constant pushes to produce 7 Banshees at a time. Meanwhile, BenBot is falling into that SCV death spiral. It's lost 136 SCVs. It's just been making SCVs, it seems, for the past couple minutes. Turrets are trying to hold on to repair this planetary, but the planetary dies, so that is leaving BenBot with very, very minimal mining. And yeah, it's still just, the BCs are getting efficiency as they're not really being killed off by this army of DominionDog. I mean, turrets are getting damage done to Banshees. Meanwhile, we've got the final line for BenBot trying to hold on. Bunkers are being repaired. There's no Marines in them, but they are soaking damage. There's the turrets, the Widow Mines, the tanks on the ground. We'll see if BenBot can repel DominionDog, but the problem is DominionDog is always making more stuff and coming in for another attack. We've got harassment of a Raven, killing off SCVs, transferring. BenBot just gonna remake those SCVs. That's all it's spending its limited money on. Turret shooting Banshees, but the problem is there's always more Banshees. Take a guess at how many of them have died this game. I'm about to pull up that unit loss screen in a second. Yamato cannons do kill off a Thor, pushes DominionDog back again, so the BCs really are getting some good trades. But then they keep getting pushed back. Another battle cruiser popping out. There is 7 BCs in all in total. However, now DominionDog comes forward with lots and lots of Vikings in the sky, and BenBot really just has the BCs left, and if they perish, that is going to be really just the end for BenBot, and I think we may already be at that point. At 77 supply to 199. DominionDog mining more, overwhelming its opponent. It's pure numbers. The trades are not good for DominionDog. It's 60,000 resources lost to 48,000. How many dead Banshees are we looking at? 80 dead Banshees, 164 dead non-upgraded Marines. BenBot losing 200 SCVs, though, really shows that it does tend to lose a lot of workers, and who can blame it against so many Banshees that have just been sniping down turrets. And yeah, that's going to be it. Ladies and gentlemen, DominionDog comes back from the contain. It's able to establish its strong economy. BenBot doesn't, as it was slower to take the bases, so it ends up losing them to DominionDog, which then just fuels these mass attacks. And then, yeah, BenBot not really making anything for the past few minutes, just SCVs. I do think that that is a tough problem to solve. What do you do when your bot keeps losing SCVs? You want to maintain a certain income. But at the same time, maybe some... Oh, the word escapes me right now, but... I don't know, make 10 SCVs, then make a unit sort of thing to at least prevent a spiral like that. Who knows? Once again, all these games I cast are very unique situations, whereas these bots, they play tons and tons of games every day. And so we can't just look at that one case. DominionDog, though, showing us its mass economic strategy works. And I do want to say, ladies and gentlemen, in this match, I didn't click on another replay because I sort of do like a hand covering thing when I pick a replay where I just sort of like cover the winner or loser so I don't get the match spoiled for me. And I accidentally saw the result of the first match I was gonna download, which was DominionDog versus BenBot, and BenBot actually won that one based on the results screen. But I went and scrolled for another BenBot and DominionDog replay that was of similar length that wouldn't have the result screened, and looks like DominionDog won that one. So these matches can go both ways, and I could have easily cast a replay in which BenBot won. Just so happens that I accidentally saw the result and didn't click on that. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you're still listening to me, click that like button on your way out of this video, subscribe to the channel, and click that bell icon if you watched all the way to the end but you're not a subscriber, as I upload videos pretty much every day. I host tournaments and whatnot. And yeah, leave a comment down below saying more bots. If you want to support the channel, big thanks to everyone that does. Consider becoming a YouTube member or using that PayPal link down below. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for tuning in.